Chef Julie. Hi, this is Tish, Tansil calling. I'm having a brunch at my house on Sunday for some friends, and I was wondering if you could help me. I need something that's good for breakfast and something that's also good for lunch.
A brunch for your girlfriends and you? Oh, excellent. Well, why don't you come down to the kitchen and we'll cook something up for you.
I was wondering just what's cooking, Chef?
Some that I'm going to take out.
Wow, welcome back. Those biscuits were so good. Now, we have our breakfast side of our brunch, which was the biscuits, the butter, and the homemade jam. Now, we want to know what we're going to have for the lunch side of our brunch.
Tish, we're going to make some wonderful homemade chicken noodle soup. It's kind of an old-fashioned style with fresh noodles.
Fresh noodles, great.
Yes, absolutely. So first thing I'm going to do to start our soup is I'm going to cut up some vegetables, and basically it's onion, celery, and carrot. Very simple. So I'm going to take this onion, celery, and carrot. That's called mirepoix, and it's the base of a lot of different stocks and sauces. It's pretty much the regular thing that you see that you start with, the foundation.
Okay, now the benefit of making your own soup is what?
I think, first of all, you control your sodium, you control the flavor. So many processed foods nowadays are just loaded with sodium and, questionable ingredients. You don't know where that came from. So this is something that you can control, and you make it just how you would like to make it. So you put your ingredients in that you would like.
So you don't have to worry about all of those chemical additives that come along with the soup.
Absolutely. If you're growing your own vegetables, you just pull them out of the backyard and then chop them up and make some dinner out of them.
Now I noticed that you're cutting all of these in about the same size pieces. Now why are you doing that?
That's just so that they cook consistently. Same size pieces will cook the same way.
Okay, now tell us about this cutting board too. This is a nice, cute little cutting board. Now, I've seen wooden cutting boards and I've seen glass cutting boards, and this is like a plastic cutting board.
Yeah.
So which one is best to use?
Well, I think there's a little bit of personal preference in there. We used to use the wooden cutting boards in the past. Now we're moving on to these plastics that are actually a little bit gentler on your knives. That's why I like to use the plastic. I've seen some glass cutting boards before, and those are they kind of scare me. So my knife slides
slip a little bit.
Yeah, which is not good. You don't want to be cutting sharp things and have your knife slip. That's not fun.
Yes, definitely.
Not fun. Be very careful when you're cutting carrots because they're very firm.
Now, what other ingredients can you put in chicken soup besides celery, carrots, and onions?
I love to put corn in there, fresh corn, especially when it's in season. You go to the store and you see the corn eight ears for $2. You can't beat it, and it's just sweet and lovely. And but this is a very rustic and simple kind of soup. It's one that I imagine my grandma would have made, but it's going to accompany with the noodles that she used to make, which are just so delicate and lovely and light. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil in here.
And what kind of olive oil is this?
Well, this is actually a pretty good olive oil. Depending on what I'm making, I may use a really good olive oil, or I may use something that's just basically for cooking or sautéing. I switched to olive oil in the last few years, trying to cut down on butter and that kind of thing.
Oh, so you can make this with butter?
Oh, yes.
So what about the chicken fat? Now, I've seen some people saute the chicken fat to extract some of the oil and then
definitely,
saute.
and that's going to add to the flavor as well. So it's really it's all about what you like, what flavors you enjoy, and then just experiment. So I'm going to put this on the stove. I'll be right back.
Okay.
We'll make noodles.
All right. So now we have our chicken soup that's underway. So if you can grab your notepad and you can grab your pen and write down how to make this homemade chicken soup, because chicken soup is great, it's nutritious, and if you're feeling sick, it's great for a cold, making you feel better.
Absolutely. I've heard people say it's called Jewish penicillin, so there it is. Okay, so we're going to scoop out this all-purpose flour. That's the base of our noodle here. That's 1 cup of flour. Then we're going to do all of our dry ingredients first, and then we will mix in our other ingredients. I'm going to do baking powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon, approximately. I'm just going to use my knife here for that.
Okay, so kind of fill it out.
Absolutely. I feel confident just kind of eyeballing items. You may not. You may want to get out the spoons, whatever you like to do.
Okay.
And then next I'm going to put in, let's see, I'm just going to put in a little bit of salt, and we're going to sift that just to make sure we've got a nice...
It's going to go through and look kind of chunky.
It is, but actually the screen will actually allow that to go through.
Okay.
So you just kind of tap it a little bit. Maybe there's a couple little pieces there that didn't go through, but that's fine.
Okay.
So we've got our dry ingredients.
Now, someone was worried about the salt. Would they have to add it, or it does add a little flavor to
It
baked noodles?
does add flavor, but with anything, if you can't have salt, it's not going to taste the same, but it's still going to taste great. It's going to taste great.
Oh, right, it's going to absorb some of the chicken flavor as
Yeah,
it cooks.
definitely. So next, what we're going to do is I'm going to take 1 egg, and I really love these organic cage-free eggs. Those poor little chickens trapped in their cages. This is one of the items I'm very passionate about, using organic ingredients, especially for dairy and for meats. You know, those kinds of products. I think that you want the ones that don't have the antibiotics and the steroids and goodness knows what else is in there. But
now, cage-free means what?
it means that they're actually allowed to kind of roam around instead of being trapped in that dirty cage with all those other chickens.
So they get more humane treatment.
Absolutely.
Better egg product.
Absolutely. Who doesn't love a happy chicken? Oh. So next we're going to add some, this is so decadent, heavy whipping cream.
Whipping cream?
Oh, yes.
To noodles?
Yes.
Okay.
So we've got a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And on this one, I'm going to go ahead and dig in with my hands.
Okay.
Got salt in there, and I'm just going to kind of mix it around.
Now you made a little well in the bowl.
Exactly.
And then you just put everything in the middle of
Yeah,
that?
this is very, very similar to how you would make a pasta. This is just a little small batch. And then
But in a sense, I guess it is a pasta, right? They're just kind of
it
homemade
is,
noodles.
definitely.
Yeah, same way, same concept.
Oh goodness! And you might want to add a little bit more cream if your batter doesn't seem to, or your dough doesn't seem to be.
Now, what should we be looking for in our dough?
Well, I've got a little bit of dry flour, kind of on the edges here, and then also at the bottom. And I want to make sure that these are nice and moist, because I'm actually going to turn these out onto a floured surface, and then we're going to roll them out. So.
Okay.
So once I feel like we've got a nice dough, I'm going to take a little bit of my flour, sprinkle that out, a little pile there to put on top. So I've got my dough, a little bit of flour on top. I usually start just kind of pressing down very gently with this, just to see where the sticky spots are. You're definitely going to have some sticky spots. You can get all that, take a little bit of that flour and rub it in your hands, and you can get all that excess dough off of your hands.
Okay, so we just had whipping cream and we had flour,
Yes.
and that was the all-purpose flour?
All-purpose flour.
Okay.
All right. So we've got this. Very nice.
Now, if someone didn't want to use the heavy whipping cream, if they had a problem with that, is there a substitute?
Absolutely. You could use milk. You could use water. You could really just use anything you want. You may want to play with the recipe, or go online, or go to the library and find a nice recipe to start with. A lot of times when I'm making something for the first time, I like a recipe just to make sure I'm doing it right, and then you've got room for improvement. You can make
And those
it
are
your
just
way.
plain noodles?
They are, absolutely.
No, the same way we added different ingredients to our biscuits, can you also add different herbs and spices to your noodles?
Absolutely. But what would go really, really nice in this would be some parsley. I'm going to finish our soup with a little bit of parsley, so I'm going to leave these kind of plain. I'm just going to kind of, I'm looking to make sure it's not sticking, and we're not going to go too crazy with this, with the rolling pin. You can also use a pasta machine to do this, and it makes very quick work of it. If you're going to make a large batch of it, and you have a pasta machine, then by all means, save yourself the trouble.
Now, a lot of people got pasta machines for Christmas and for holidays, and they're still sitting in the box.
Oh no, get them out! Get them out! Okay, so we've got a nice, beautiful sheet. That's probably about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little less. You can make them a little bigger if you like, and you can also cut these however you like. If you'd like to make your noodle like nice big squares, like almost like a dumpling, you could definitely do that. What I'm going to do, you could use a knife for sure to cut this, but what I like to use is a pizza cutter.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, well, first of all, I'm going to kind of think, how big is our spoon? Because we want our noodles to fit on our spoon. So
Right, bite size.
yeah, it's a little extra there. And then you're just going to start, it's so easy.
Ah, okay, yeah, it is. So we're not even worried that each one is not perfectly
No.
the same size as the next one. These are homemade noodles.
Absolutely. I think that adds to the charm of the soup and, just makes it, just individualizes every little bite.
Great.
Okay. So now these noodles are actually ready to go into the soup.
Are they?
So I've our vegetables are sautéed over there. I have another pot that I've actually already added some chicken stock to, so I'm going to go grab that and then we'll drop these noodles in.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So
Oh,
it
looks
took
good.
about 10 minutes. After sautéing those vegetables, about 10 minutes with the chicken stock, and then that way the vegetables are completely cooked. They're nice and tender, and then you're just going to kind of.
Now this is a very quick chicken soup as well. This is
It really
one that you
is.
have to cook all day. You can cook this if you get home from work and you
Yeah.
just wanted some chicken.
Absolutely. Now my grandma Janice, Martin, what she would have done actually is she would have taken a whole chicken. Well, she probably would have gone out on the farm, killed it, and then taken the whole chicken and put it and cooked it in the broth, which is a lovely way to do it. So you just want to kind of lightly just let those noodles kind of drop in there.
Well, actually, my grandmother years ago in Detroit, there were certain markets you could go to and pick out your chicken, and they would actually slaughter it right there.
That's
And you would take
wonderful.
home a freshly slaughtered chicken.
Wow, don't bring the kids. Maybe not a good trip for the kids.
Yeah, I'm looking back on it, I'm thinking that wasn't the greatest childhood memory.
Although,
Wow, those really puffed up, didn't they?
they really
Yeah.
do. They're going to be nice and thick, and they will break apart just a little bit once you cook them. And if you want to, if you think they're too big, then you just be a little aggressive with your paddle.
Wow, those really absorbed everything. Though.
They sure did. So I
So how
got
long will those take to cook?
the noodles take about 10 minutes. But what I'm going to do also right now is I'm going to add. I'm going to show you how we do the chicken. So I've got a nice boneless, skinless chicken breast. You can use, if you like dark meat, get some boneless, skinless thighs. Whatever you'd like to do, like Grandma used to do, she'd take the whole chicken and then pull it out and pick all the meat off and then put it back in. But I think this is a nice light and easy way.
Okay.
So basically all I'm doing here is just taking little shreds, and again, they don't have to be exact.
And those are very thin pieces of chicken.
They really are, just little kind of shredded bits of chicken. And I kind of, again, I like the rustic nature of that. And I'm just going to drop those guys in there.
Okay. Well, that is definitely a different way to do chicken.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so now that goes back on the stove.
Well, it looked really, really great. And it was fast and easy. I think it's taken less than 5-10 minutes to make a pot of chicken soup.
Michigan, the Great Lakes state. Our lakes, rivers, and streams are treasured resources that supply us with drinking water as well as many recreational opportunities. Whether we're fishing, boating, or spending a day at the beach, our water is important to us. Our water is abundant and clean, yet there's growing concern about trace amounts of pharmaceuticals in surface, ground, and municipal water from improper disposal. Yellow Jug Old Drugs is a program to dispose of unused, unwanted drugs in a safe and approved manner to help keep our water clean. When you dispose of unused, unwanted drugs properly, you not only help keep drinking water, lakes, and streams clean, you keep our kids safe and make our communities a better place to live. To find a participating pharmacy in your community, go to GreatLakesCleanWater.org or phone 989-736-8179.
Our brunch is going to be very good.
All right, so I washed my hands. I'm going to get this chickeny board out of the way.
And it's very important to wash the surface when you use chicken.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you have a fresh cutting board.
Yes. And a brand new fresh knife. And I've got some parsley. This is going to be how we're going to finish our noodle soup.
Now this is a flat leaf parsley.
It is. It is. I like flat leaf parsley. I don't know. I don't think it especially has any more flavor than curly leaf parsley. To me, since it's already flat, it's just easier to cut. It may sound strange, but that's what I think.
Now when you're using fresh parsley, you have to pull the leaves off the stem.
Yes, absolutely. So that's what I have here. I've got the little flower. See the little 3 pieces there. And you can call that a pluche, a little pluche of
So that's important. If you go to the store and get parsley, don't just throw the entire sprig of parsley in there because those stems aren't the best to eat.
no, don't eat the stems, but definitely use them for your stock.
But pull them out.
Yeah, absolutely, before you eat them, because that would not be very tasty. So I'm just kind of roughly chopping this parsley, again, just very rustic style. Okay. So we've got, basically we've made our fresh noodles, we've got our pot on, just needs another minute or so, and those noodles are going to be nicely and done. I'm going to go ahead and add this parsley to it and bring that pot over.
Can't wait to try this soup.
Okay. So now we have this beautiful chicken soup with the noodles.
Looks great.
And so again, whatever kind of vegetables that you would like to put in there, like I like to put corn in there, but the bits of chicken are nicely cooked. They're very, very tender and lovely because they were shredded so thin.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay. So we'll take that. These gorgeous noodles.
Now you can salt and pepper this to taste.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Those look great. Those look like, actually, yeah, they do look like homemade dumplings, like they've absorbed all of like great chicken flavor.
They really do. It's a very nice, lovely, light, even though it's got the heavy cream, it's nice and light and tender. Very delicious.
Can I try a little bit?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Thank you.
And look, we have big, wonderful noodles, and we have the parsley, and there's our carrots, and there's our chicken. And this is a nice, hearty, actually it's kind of light. The noodles make it a little bit more of a meal with substance in it. For a brunch is great if you just want to have a bowl of soup. It is definitely fulfilling, flavorful, and very light. Great, thank you. So this is our lunch side of brunch, and then we have our biscuit, and we have our savory butter, and then we have our sweet butter. So we are all set. So thank you, Chef Julie.
You're welcome.
And thank you for cooking for us today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
There's a crisis in America. More than half of us are overweight. The advice experts agree on is to eat more fruits and vegetables as part of a healthy diet and be physically active. Eating 5 to 9 servings of colorful fruits and vegetables and being active every day will help our kids stay healthy and fit. Eat smarter, be active, and get healthy, America. Because the figures don't lie.
Hi, my name is Chef Q, and we're down at the Eastern Market taping. What's cooking, Chef?
Here only, and here is this if you want to. Okay, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, we feature New Orleans style beignets here.
And the name of the company?
The name of the company is Beignets.
And your name?
And my name is Michelle Pearson.
Okay.
Yep, and it's my partner and myself. It's kind of a family thing. My son's here. My partner Mark is a chef.
Hello.
Yes. And we feature the traditional type of beignet, and we also add a little twist with raspberry sauce and powdered sugar. And we just introduced our beignets, which are our traditional beignets with bacon and powdered sugar on top.
Okay, now tell us, what is a beignet?
A beignet is a donut, basically fresh French fried dough. And we cook it right here hot. And so we give it to you hot and fresh. We also feature our chicory coffee, which is also a traditional kind of New Orleans style coffee blended with chicory. We add hot milk and that hot milk just gives it a nice creamy flavor, and people love it.
And we wanted to interview you. Effort's edible gluten-free products.
Yes.
Can you tell us what you have here?
Yes, we do. We have our pecan dandies, which are our signature bar. That's the bar that got us started.
Okay.
We offer our hot blondies, our dark chocolate fudgies. We have vanilla, chocolate, red velvet cupcakes, and then our crumb cakes, which is a sour cream coffee cake. We also have whoopie pies and go-go bars. So we try to have old-fashioned goodness that's for everyone, whether you're gluten-free or not.
Wow. Can you tell us what do you use as a substitute to get your products to still rise?
We use, it is a science, number one. So you've just got to create your own recipes and figure out how to have leavening. Leavening is what makes things rise. So
So you use different leavening agents?
Well, not so much because you can't. There's no pockets. There's no air pockets without the gluten.
Okay.
All right. So you have to come up with ways. It's the temperature, time, eggs. It's a lot of different things. You have to make sure there's not too much acidity. So there's a kind of a science behind gluten-free baking. It's not the same. So our goal is to make crazy good food that everyone loves. Everyone. Did you get a chance to try it?
Sure, I did. I tried the dandy bar. I knew exactly what it was. Thank you.
And to make people happy. We're here to make people happy with food. So.
Right. You have to be happy with food.
Well, thank you.
You have to eat the food. These are your whoopie pies?
That is an oatmeal cream whoopie pie. A little girl asked us to make something, she had celiac disease, that was similar to the Little Debbie's, except Little Debbie's has about 1,000 ingredients on the label. So ours has no additives. It's all just good old-fashioned ingredients, but it's fashioned after the Little Debbie. So it's oatmeal cream pie.
And they all look so good. Delicious. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping. Enjoy your day, okay?
Thank you. Hi, how you doing? Fine, how are you?
Sunflower butter.
Oh, you make different nut butters. You're making different nut butters and
We
jams?
make different, peanut butters, we make sunflower butter, we got all different types of jams, we have oatmeal, we have all grains, everything's from Michigan.
Michigan made.
And all natural.
What's the name of your company?
The Granola Tree.
The Granola Tree. How long have you been in business for?
They've been, how long have you guys been around?
Our third year.
Third year in business.
Yeah.
Did you start under the Michigan cottage law?
I don't know how that started.
Did you start under the Michigan cottage law?
We did. Yes, absolutely. We started under Michigan Foods, Cottage Foods 3 years ago. And then we upgraded to our wholesale license last year.
Wow, and the Michigan cottage law proved to work. It worked well for you?
Oh my God, it was awesome. It was the only way we would have been able to start up.
Kind of give an overview of that.
What's that?
Give a little overview of the cottage law.
The cottage food lot, you have to make under $15,000 a year to utilize it. But it starts you off, if you're doing baked goods, you can do it, jams, jellies, peanut butters, value-added foods, basically. So it'll get you going. That way you're not trying to work, you can do it in your own home kitchen that way. You're not trying to work in someone else's kitchen and pay for the kitchen while you're not having the retail outlet. But for us, we got up, it started us off, and then of course we started to go over that $15,000 mark and realized we had to upgrade, which is great. So basically we got there and said, okay, we've outgrown this, but a lot of people, probably most of the newer vendors here started under that law.
And you came out here under the Michigan cottage law and your business has grown since then.
Absolutely, yes.
Wow, that was a step up.
It's amazing. Most people could not start their businesses without that law.
Right.
Because when you're starting a new business like that, it's usually just a hobby. You know, like if you're baking cookies, you just do it as a hobby, and then you have a full-time job, like we all did. My mom and my sister and I owned the company, so we started with a full-time job, doing it on the side. And then once we upgraded to the wholesale, this is now our job. So it's kind of nice.
I see you have different types of jams and jellies here. Can you tell us what's in each one and how they're made?
Oh, sure. We have, several different varieties. We try to use whatever's in season. Some of them are, everything's fresh. So we do, like our strawberry jams here, they use about 40% less sugar than a commercial jam. We've got a strawberry coconut marmalade. We don't use anything that's been genetically modified. We don't use anything that's has preservatives or additives or sulfates of any kind. So fine strawberries, lemons, pectin. That's it. Sugar. Yeah. And it's a Michigan beet sugar. We use Michigan products whenever possible.
Michigan made sugar. And your strawberry and your peanut butter, your butters here?
Butters are like our plain peanut butter right here is absolutely nothing but a dry roasted nut. So when you're eating this, you're not getting palm oil, no hydrogenated oils ever, nothing with preservatives. So like this one, just peanuts, not getting salt, sugar, and that stuff. But you can move to something that has chocolate in it and get all that yummy stuff through your chocolate. And then we make some spicy savories, like we have a spicy sesame. So this one's got everything you would think you'd find in like a pad thai dish already in there. You could toss it in greens, you could put it on, noodles, stir fry, that kind of thing. I do it with raw vegetable sticks for lunch. And then we also do freshly ground sunflower butters. So, like for example, our plain sunflower butter is nothing but a roasted sunflower seed. Then I do stuff like white chocolate espresso sunflower butter, which is like a candy bar in a jar. Delicious. Oh yeah. This I call a spoon butter because you just need a spoon. Syrups, we do organic Michigan oat products, different grains.
Wow, this is nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine. My name is Chef Julie. And we're here to show what's going on. And we would like to interview you for our show.
Okay.
And you're here with Custard Pies?
Yes, Loves Custard.
Loves Custard Pies. Can you tell us what pies you have this morning?
Okay, this morning we have the bean pie, the Dutch apple, the banana with the crumb, with the oat crumb on top.
Where's the banana? This is banana crumb?
Right here with the oatmeal crumb on top. We have the chocolate Mississippi mud pie. We have the chest pie. We do a strawberry custard. We do 26 flavors of custard.
Wow. And how long have you been in business?
Oh, doing this part of it? About 6-7 years.
Wow, that's nice. And are they all made in Michigan products?
They're all made Michigan products.
And are you working under the cottage law?
We have a shop.
So do you distribute just here, or do you?
No, we just do right here. We do just right here, and we do online.
Oh wow! So we can catch you. We can have you. We can order pies from you online.
Right, correct.
And then you ship them to us.
We ship it all over the United States.
Wow. Do you have any samples of the chest pie?
Yeah, I can give you something of the chest pie.
Oh, thank you. That's good. Can you tell us what your chest pie is? Can you describe it to us?
It's a buttery custard. That's what it is. It's a custard out the custard family. Buttery, sugar, and that's the product.
Yolks.
And
Butter,
yolks.
sugar, and yolks.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's the bean.
Pie.
Right.
What beans do you use for your bean pie?
Michigan Navy beans.
Michigan Navy. That's right. That's how you make a bean pie.
And we also do a pinto bean pie and a black bean pie.
Wow. Pinto bean pie.
Yes, ma'am.
And a black bean pie.
Yep.
Wow.
Straight out of Mississippi.
Straight out of Mississippi.
That's right.